Okay, I have to warn you ahead of time. This is one of my favorite parts because we get to meet some cool Roman soldiers. For a second, anyways. So let's see. Tum titel balventio, qui superiore anno primum pilum duxerat, viro forti et magnae auctoritatis, utramque femur tragula traiucatur. Quintus Lucianus, eiustem ordinis, fortissime pugnans, dum circumvento filio subvenit interficitur. Lucius Cata, legatus, omnes cohortes ordinisque ad hortans in adversum os funda vulnerator. Well, we get to meet them, but apparently the relationship does not last long. Let's see why. Okay, the first guy is Titus Balventius. Now notice, his name is Titus Balventius, but don't be tricked. It's not nominative. It's not Balventio, right? So this is some case other than nominative. So watch out because he's not the subject of whatever the clause he's in. Before we find out the rest of the information, Caesar gives us this beautiful relative clause to describe Titus Balventius, talking about him. And apparently in this relative clause, something happens. Here, superiore anno, I'm sure you recognize that the word anno means year, and it's in the ablative case, and a year is a measure of time, so that's an ablative of time when. In the previous year, he had, the literal translation is he had led the first century, which means nothing to us. But to a Roman, they would know that would mean he's a super soldier guy. He had a position of leadership. He had been the first centurion or something like that. Maybe it's the equivalent of, I don't know, the Avengers or something. But anyways, he was a special soldier, so special that Caesar goes out of his way to point out, hey, this is the leader. He was a centurion, so he's somebody who had a high rank. This guy, who had this high rank in the previous year, what else do we know about him? Viro forti et magnae auctoritatis. Look, we've got Titus in this case that we have yet to decide if it's ablative or dative, but then we have over here, Viro forti. Oh, that is so dative, and it's probably still talking about Titus Balventius. So, he had a special rank, and he's still dative, he's a brave guy, and well, how else does Caesar describe him? He's got lots of auctoritatis, lots of authority. Okay, but I want to know more about this guy. Utrumque femur tragula traiucatur. Ooh, that's not good. Either femur. Hey, a femur, isn't that a leg? Each leg, tragula, that's a weapon. You probably don't want those by your legs. That's ablative. And traiucatur is your passive verb. So apparently, each leg to Titus Balventius, this is what we call a dative of disadvantage. Each leg that belonged to Titus Balventius is, this thing happened to it, was pierced by this. Oh dear. Okay, so superhero 1 down. Let's look at the next guy Caesar describes. Quintus Lucianus. Eiustem ordinis. Okay, of the same order, i.e. he is in the same category as Titus Balventius. Well, hopefully not with the leg thing, but there. He did whatever Titus did. So they're the same group of people. Notice this Quintus guy is nominative. Fortissime pugnans. Okay, so Quintus Lucianus is nominative, and we've got a nominative participle modifying him with an adverb going with that. I'm not going to bother translating pugnans because you should all know that by now. Dum. Oh, dependent clause marker. Ding, ding. Dum. Circumvento filio. Okay, this is not an ablative absolute, even though it looks like one, because these guys are dative. And how do I know that? Because this clause ends at here, subvenit, which means to help, and you go to help a dative. So apparently, this Quintus Lucianus, when he went to go help his son, who was surrounded, aw, what a nice dad. Oh, interficitur. Oh, isn't that my favorite verb? Hopefully you remember what that means. Anyways, 1 hero down, 2 heroes down. Let's see what happens to our next guy, Lucius Cata. Now, this is interesting. He gives us legatus. So we have 2 words in the same case and they're not connected. They probably talk about each other. Lucius Cata, the legate Lucius Cata. So it goes like that. Omnes cohortes ordinisque. Hey, these are accusatives. So whatever it is, we know that Lucius Cata did something to them. Oh, here it is. Adhortans. And this is a participle modifying, of course, our guy kata. So, kata, adhortans, doing this to all of those things. Then we've got a prepositional phrase. Notice we haven't gotten to the main verb yet. Okay, Caesar gives us another prepositional phrase. In adversum os. Okay, Okay, os, mouth, face. Adversum, modifying that. So apparently something happens in someone's face. Funda vulneratur. Funda is ablative. And vulneratur, of course, is a verb that shows Lucius Cata, that goes with Lucius Cata. So Lucius Cata, the legate, is wounded in the face by a funda. And what is he doing when he is wounded? He apparently was yelling and encouraging all the cohorts and the lines. So we had Titus Balbientus down, Quintus Lucianus down, Quintus Lucianus' son down, and Cata down, well, wounded, we're not sure, but it does not look good for him either. Tragic on all sides.